Hi, my name is Kelsey, and for the last 3 months I have been engaging in a treaty walk. This Miscoswin process has led me to question who I thought I was as an educator. When we started the class, I was nervous. We talked about naming ourselves, and when I heard about using the word settler, I felt nervous. In my mind, I couldn't help but feel attacked. The name was foreign and, honestly, a little hostile. Slowly I began to embrace this title, through many hours of class lectures reflecting and reading. On our third class, my colleagues and I were invited to participate in a pipe ceremony. We sat down on the floor with our skirts, and there was an underlying sense of nervousness and confusion that was palpable in the room. When Elder Alma began to speak to us, and we began the ceremony, I could feel a sense of calm and relief. This is authentic education, I thought. This is what children need to experience, both discomfort, then understanding. I left the class in a wonderful mood, but I continued to think about how I, as a white settler woman, can incorporate authentic First Nations teachings into my classroom. When we listened to group presentations, I was shocked at how much I didn't know. The Red Dress Project was a huge event, not far from home, and still, it was new. Perhaps activism could be a way for me to encourage future students to engage with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit issues. But is it appropriating for me to do so? Would it be more harmful than hurtful? It came time for my group and I to present. It was difficult to create a plan, but we tried to embrace this concept of Mi'o-Wechechwin, working together and strengthening relationships. Our group was able to create a list of activities that would help our colleagues to critique the Canada 150 celebration. I was nervous how my class would react, but that did not stop us from speaking what we thought was the full truth. Tapway-win. At this point in my Wisconsin journey, I felt like I was becoming okay with being uncomfortable and asking hard questions. Encouraging a group of people to look closer and consider what we thought needed critique was powerful. As a teacher, hopefully this critical process is one I can engage my students in as part of their Miscoswin. My journey so far has been about my identity as a teacher, but I was forced to think about my own personal identity when we went to Fort Qu'Appelle to learn more about the history of that space. In the Brett, we were told stories of the history of the school. He said one thing that struck all of us, and that was, "You think you are so smart, but you don't even know your great-great-great-great-grandfather." At that moment, I knew there was more to this class than learning how to be an authentic educator. I needed to learn to know my truth and my history as well. I had the opportunity to try and put this authentic education into practice. My group set up the map station and made it our mission for people to know that numbered treaties exist across the prairies, that they are treaty people, and also to introduce them to the concept of unceded territory. In my painting, I tried to show Saskatchewan in the top corner with the words "becoming unsettled," because that's what this class was about for me. As educated as I felt I was about the topic I was presenting, I still engaged in conversations where I didn't know the answers. I was unsure and uncomfortable, but I didn't pretend to be the expert. In this experience, I have learned to admit what I don't know and to start building a relationship based on learning together. I still am struggling with this concept of appropriating teaching in the classroom versus appropriate teaching in the classroom. How will I ensure my students learn treaty content in an authentic way? I don't have an answer, and I don't think anyone else does. These concepts are always blended together. So the most important thing to do is to critically think about lessons before we teach them. Reflect often and accept critiques. The line between authentic and appropriating education is extremely blurred, but that doesn't mean we should give up teaching it. As a rural, white, settler, treaty teacher, this is my reconciliation attempt. I will not leave treaty outcomes to be taught by elders and knowledge keepers. I will engage with content in critical ways with my students to teach as authentically as I can. Thank you for listening. Kinanaskomatin.